while the guys make their way off the stage. So I'm going to start with right at the top of the song. Thanks, Robbie. That was great. Today is the day. Say that.
Today is the day.
Okay, now say it less like today is the day. Ready? Say, today is the day.
Today is the day.
For what? Everything. Not specific enough. Today is the day. For what? How off love. Okay, today is the day for what? Abundance. Action. Gratitude. Clarity. Givingness. Forgiveness. Living. Joy. Here's the thing. How often do you really wake up in the morning and say, today is the day for, and don't end it with something like, oi. Today is this day, oh my God. I am part of this thing called life, right? But how often do you wake up and say, today is the day, and I am part of this thing called struggle? Or, I am part of this thing called lack. I am part of this thing called discontentment. I am part of this thing called, God, I hate my job. I am part of this thing called whatever. Today is the day. When you hear words like this, is why I picked this song. When you hear words like this, today is the day, what's the first line? I will change my luck. As if luck had anything to do with it. Mae West. Right? Wow, that's how old I am, and nobody laughed. Okay, so that's good. Mae West, luck had nothing to do with it. Ha! So, right? Okay, now y'all know who she is, right? Anybody not know who Mae West is? Oh, thank God. I had a senior moment there for a minute. So today is the day that I'm going to change my consciousness. Today is the day I am going to remember I am one with this thing called life. And we don't even use one with anymore. Today is the day that I know I am this thing called life. That's the energy that's moving through me. That's what I am. That's who I am. As Nancy said, there's Nancy. As Nancy said, we just concluded Beyond Limits. That was 10 weeks of amazing stuff for me. Who was in it? Raise your hand if you're in the class. Awesome. Great. It was like 30 of you in the class. And a lot of people online, too. It was a great class because I watched every single mind question. Some more than others. But question what was being said. I don't think we should ever walk through life taking whatever's given to us and go, okay. No, not if it doesn't make sense. That's what this entire center is about. Spiritual logic. Making logical sense out of something, and if you can't make logical sense of it, you have no business believing it. Because guess what? You're not really believing it. You're just hoping that it's the truth. So today is the day each one of us gets to decide, what is it I really, truly, absolutely believe? And today is the day we also get to say, I am this thing called life, and my life has unfolded perfectly. So, yesterday, we were driving, me and Kevin and Will, and Kevin was sharing with me that we had been invited to go see the opening night of a show. And I was like, oh my God, that's great. I really want to see that show. He said, oh, I already said no. And I said, well, go back and say yes. And Will said, oh, I hear a talk coming on. He did. He said, Dad, didn't you just think after you said that's what you wanted to talk about? That's a talk coming up. And I went, as a matter of fact, I haven't chosen the title for this week's talk, so I'm going to do it on Sunday. That was on Friday, actually, not yesterday. So go back and say yes. And as soon as I said, go back and say yes, Kevin said, how do you go back and say yes? Which he's right. There's only the present at all times. But in our minds, we are carrying around so much from the past that we are not saying yes to. In fact, we're saying no to it. In fact, we have so much negativity surrounding whatever that may be in your past that you are not grateful for, because guess what? Saying yes is an expander. Yes is an expansion of life. Yes means bring it. No is a closed door. Maybe just means you're not clear. You haven't made a decision yet. So go back and say yes. I'm going to invite you today to just ask yourself, what in my life up to this point, everything in your life has brought you to this point. Everything that's ever happened to you, every relationship you've ever had, every job you've ever held, every experience you have ever gone through, has brought you to this moment and created a slew of core beliefs that you are living from. Those beliefs drive you. Those beliefs tell you what to think. And then when you think what you think, you say what you say. And then you feel what you feel about what you're thinking. And then you emote. Your emotions come from all of that stuff. So everything has brought you to this moment in time. And here you stand. Today is the day I take charge of my mind. And I tell myself, I am this thing called life. And I get to decide what I think about all of it. So go back and say yes. Now, does that mean I'm going to go back and say yes to cancer? If I could, I'd go back and say no to cancer, knowing that that's not something I wanted to experience. And yet, something in me brought it forth, and I had to experience it. And I know there's a lot of good that came from it. And I know there's a lot of clarity that came from it. So it really behooves me to go back and say yes to what I experienced. It behooves me to have gratitude for whatever I have experienced, no matter what. Would you say that after me?
No matter what.
And I know some of you may be sitting here today literally looking at all the stuff in your life and saying, I'm not doing it to that. But that means that has a hold on you, doesn't it? It means somewhere in your life it is causing the bump in the road. It's your speed bump. And so your life is not just flowing. There are bumps in the road. So go back and say yes. What do you need to go back and say yes to? What in your life do you need to go back and look at and say, yes, okay, I have gratitude for that. My heart is open to whatever that was. Now, that doesn't mean that I get to stand here and say, yes, I'll have more. I'm not having more. I don't want more of anything I didn't enjoy. But if it happened, it's part of who's standing here today. And it better be a constructive part of who's standing here today so that my world isn't a constant battle of little pieces. Today is the day. So that's my question to you, to ask you. What do you need to go back and say yes to? It's interesting because when Kevin said you can't go back and say yes, I thought, yeah, you really can. You go back to the invitation, and rather than saying no and put up a struggle and put up a fight, you say, yes, I'm good with this. I understand this. Even if you don't, even if you don't. It is so powerful to say, no, I understand this. Even when your mind's saying, I don't, the spiritual logic behind I understand this is that in God, all things are understood. And who am I? I know who I am. I know where I come from. So what do you need to go back and say yes to? And then, just standing here in this space, what do you need to say yes to today? What are you still not saying yes to? What are you still not embracing so fully that it's showing up in your life? What have you been afraid to say yes to? Because most people that don't say yes are afraid they can't have it, so they hold out on the yes. What are you afraid you can't have? What are you afraid that if you say yes, you might find out it's a no from the universe? Because let me tell you about this. You cannot say yes and have the universe say no. You really can't. But you have to be spiritually vigilant about it. Because if you're saying yes, the universe has to answer accordingly. So if you're saying yes and the universe is saying no, go back and find out where you're saying no. Where are you holding off? Where are you holding back? Where are you not willing to really embrace this? Really say yes. I want everybody to just take a moment, take a deep breath and just say yes. One more time. Here we go. Big breath.
Yes.
Feel that energy. Now, do the same thing and say no. Ready? Big breath.
No.
My God, there's so many actors in the room, you can tell. They knew exactly how to turn that around for me. Thank you, Brad Blaisdell. I heard your voice. No. There's an energy to everything you say. Yes has an expansive energy. No shuts you down. It just shuts you down. So when you're saying yes and when you're saying no, a question arises, and it happened on CPR this morning. I'm loving the new CPR. I'm literally throwing everything out, and I just start from scratch. And every day is a new day. And I'm just loving it because it reminds me of the very first time I started it, where everything just came. And so I have a good roadmap, but something came up today that really got my own interest, so I knew I wanted to talk about it. And it's this idea of design. Design. How many designers are here? Any designers? How many people feel that they're really good at design? Wow, the rest of you must do a lot of hiring. So designing means that there's something in you that knows how to formulate things, how to put things together in pieces, how to create a picture, how to create a look. One of the things we talked about on CPR this week was the fact that so many of us walk around in mental rags when we could be wearing Dior, because we get to decide what it is we put on in our mind. So design. The question is, who's designing your life? I think we sometimes think our lives are being designed by something out there. Who's designing your life? Now, I know you all want to say the correct answer. What is the correct answer? Yeah, of course, it's you. But you know what? I know we all want to say, I'm designing my life. But I got to tell you, there are some outside influences that tend to come in and design some of my life. Anybody else? Where we let things outside of ourselves come in and design it. Things happen, and all of a sudden, our life that we designed has just been shifted. And someone else, we feel, is responsible for designing our life. Even illness. Illness comes along, and suddenly, the illness defines our life. It doesn't have to. It just so happened this week that I found myself in the midst of a physical cold, or whatever it was. I don't know, whatever it was. And on Thursday, when I woke up, I just was like, oh my God. You have one of those days where everything aches and you're just like, you're congested, and I'm just like, oh wow, this is, right, Lori? You're like, oh wow, this is so not me, but yet it's really me that's feeling this right now. And so I did my CPR, and then I kind of sat on the couch, and then I meditated, and I did all my things I needed to do. I steamed with eucalyptus and tea tree oil, and I did everything I needed to do. And I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm suddenly saying, I need to do nothing today. No, I had a class to teach that night. I had sessions that day, and I was like, I'm doing nothing. So I called Connie and said, clear the decks, I'm doing nothing. Please let everyone know I'm taking the day off. And as it turned out, that day was all about finding a belief you have. So now I'm sitting on the couch with Vicks Vapor Rub everywhere, and I'm like, what belief has gotten me to this moment in time? And then I got it. I was like, oh my God, it's this. I think I have to get sick to take a day off. I can't take time off. Y'all need me. I have to. Yes, we do. Stay healthy. No, but I was like, I can't take a day off. I have to teach ministers tonight. Oh my God, what will they do without class? I'm sure they had a lovely evening without me. And I was like, that's it. That is it. Karen went, thank you. That's it. I felt I could not take a day off unless I was sick. And then I decided, oh my God, this is terrific. To the dump with that belief, I am taking as much time off as I want from now on, and I don't have to be sick to do it. And that's, thank you. And that's not for me, that's for you, too. So these beliefs, when we back everything up to a belief and find it, it's like all of a sudden, it's like you're at the casino and you hit a jackpot. It's like, oh my God, that's what it is. It's that. Now, guess what? That belief had been designing my life. When I would get too overwhelmed, have too much work to do, I would come up with something that would get me to stay home. Some sickness doesn't happen often at all. And I also know it's my body, so that was on Thursday. On Friday when I woke up, the day in CPR was find a belief and argue each side of it. Argue for it to be true and argue for it to be false. All day. Make it true, make it false. And the first thing, I was like, well, the only belief that's coming to me is I am sick. So let's do it. Let's figure this out, folks. So, I am sick on Friday morning. I started with, well, my body aches. I'm congested. I can feel a sore throat coming on. I have a little fever, I think. Maybe I sweated it out overnight. I don't know. They're all the truths of why I know I have a cold. Now let's go to the other side. You are God. Get out of the house, go to the gym, and work it out. I was like, which one will I choose today? I could stay home, eucalyptus, tea tree oil, ice cream, all sorts of things throughout the day, just because the ice cream really helps the congestion. Or I can get out of bed and go to the gym. Which one do you think I chose? Obviously, or I wouldn't be telling you this talk. So I got up and I went, I'm going to prove that sickness is merely a belief. So I went to the gym. And by the time I got to the gym, I was feeling a little better because my belief was taking over. My belief that, no, you're not sick, your body just needs some assistance here. And then I'm doing this Deepak Chopra meditation, and I'm listening to him as I'm on the treadmill, and all of a sudden, I hear Deepak say, your body has a wisdom of its own, leave it alone. I was like, does that mean leave it alone, go home, sit on the couch again? Or does that mean leave it alone, keep doing what you're doing, it's going to respond perfectly? I chose the latter. And I just kept going. I had the best workout. I was in the gym for an hour and a half. I'm just working out and I'm sweating and it's all good. And then I just go through my day. And there were moments when I went, oh, I could prove I'm sick right now. No, I'm going to stick with this one. And so my body was unfolding perfectly because my mind was saying, I'm going to stick with this belief. But here's what this exercise is all about. Understanding that you can have it either way. You can design your life either way. You can design it from a belief of lack, or you can design it from a belief of prosperity. You can design it from a belief of health, or you can design it from a belief of the possibility of disease at any moment. You can design it from a place of being rooted in the truth of who you are, or you can design it from a place that at any moment the rug will be pulled out from underneath you. You get to design it any way you choose, and the universe answers appropriately and gives you the result of whichever one you choose. I think most of us design our lives with such a cacophony of different beliefs and thoughts. You know what? I do know that I can heal myself, but I'm also knowing I'm really sick. I'm just going to be sick. That's my choice. And I chose not to go there, not to stay there. And you might even hear, I still have a little bit of whatever that is, and whatever it is, I bless it. And I'm grateful because I found a belief I didn't even know I had. I have to get sick to take the day off? Oh my God, who wants that roaming around in their mind? So there are a lot of things, and that came from way back here. I remember how many of us needed to be sick to stay home from school? I wish my children were sitting here right now because I know now what that's all about. I'm like, 102, 104 temperature, get to school. You'll work? No, I would never do that. 102 maybe, but not 104. We still, Lily's like, really? You would do that? No, 101. So, everything that we believed, everything that we brought into this moment in time, today is the day for me to say yes to all of that. All of it. To love that kid that used to make that up. And to love the guy today that actually figured out that what you made up, we can't do that anymore. I don't have any more time to just be sick because I think I can't take a day off. How nice would it be to just take a day off like every other week and keep my body healthy, keep my mind healthy? How great would it be to just remember that I am prosperity and stop worrying? How many people here worry? Yeah, it does nothing. Worrying is just your willingness to be more upset about that thing you're worrying about. And we only worry because we actually don't know the truth. So, this month is all about gratitude, yes? So today is the day I design my life the way I want to live it because I am this thing called God. And I get to design it any way I choose. And I choose to design it from gratitude. So, as you know, I love acronyms. And every now and then, if I have to work hard for an acronym, I don't even bother with it. But today, this morning, as I was finishing up what I wanted to talk about today, this acronym just like jumped off of my computer as I was looking at the word design. Design. So I want you to give it a thought. How would you do an acronym to design? Don't yell it out, but because I'm about to tell you what the real one is. At least what mine is. Are you ready to hear it?
Yes.
Do everything saturated in gratitude now. Isn't that good? So I want you to say that with me. Do everything saturated in gratitude now. That's how you design your life, through gratitude. Because if you are willing to say yes and be grateful for all of it right now, that energy of yes expands your life. And that means do everything saturated in gratitude, not just with a little dollop of gratitude, not just a little taste of gratitude. This is not a recipe that you're just putting a little taste of something into. No, this is the whole enchilada. That's a good reference. A whole enchilada called gratitude. Doing everything saturated in gratitude now. Now, what that means is that when something comes up for you, you have to be grateful. You have to be grateful. Now, do y'all see that big yellow thing there? Yeah. Okay, so yesterday morning when I started my morning by designing my day. And here was my affirmation. Yesterday we all had to come up with an affirmation to live our day by. So my affirmation was, I live my truth, because that's our theme this year. I live my truth today, no matter what. And I was so pleased with myself. I was like, I live my truth all day today, no matter what. And I was like, I am designing my life, my day. And I had a beautiful day planned, and I had all this stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to do some gardening. We were having dinner with dear friends. It was going to be this beautiful day and evening. Within moments of that affirmation, I mean moments. Like, I practically just said, no matter what, ring. Do you ever notice that when you affirm something, it's like a calling all cars to challenge it? So, the phone rings and it's like, the air conditioning's completely broken down. We have opening night tonight. What are you going to do? I was like, who's this? Sorry, wrong number. No. So, I was like, you know what? And Kevin had to go to rehearsal. He's doing a new play. Kevin's in rehearsal. I was like, I'll handle it because I've already designed my day, and I'm going to live my truth all day, no matter what. My life unfolds perfectly. What could possibly go wrong? I'm going to be able to handle this. So I came over to the theater. First, I drove Will to his rehearsal, came over to the theater, spent the next 5 hours here with no way to figure out about this air conditioning. Nobody could get here. One guy came and I didn't trust what he said to me, and it was just, and the whole day though, now this is why I'm telling you this, the whole day I'm like, using my affirmation, I went, no, I live my truth, this is fine. This will all unfold perfectly. Until finally, the only answer was to bring in some outside air for this particular weekend, and it'll all get fixed next Monday. But this took till about 5:30. My whole day changed. I had to cancel dinner with my friends. I had to cancel everything, change everything. And I'm still standing in this body saying, I live my truth all day, no matter what, no matter what. And was I challenged? Yes. Were there moments I just wanted to scream? Brief, but yes. There were. But here's the better part. Because of what I knew, Kevin showed up. I have never seen that man more poised, more relaxed, more loving, more, James, you go home. I'll take the rest of this one. Goodbye. When you set an intention for yourself and get behind it and design your day, it's amazing how everyone around you designs it with you. And they follow suit. And then I went home, made a beautiful dinner, I had a beautiful night. It was really, really, totally beautiful and fine. So, today is the day. Today is the day we get to know who we are, decide who we are. Today is the day we get to design our lives by doing everything saturated in gratitude. And we do it now. We don't wait for something to be grateful for. We come from gratitude. And if we're willing to come from gratitude, then we can literally decide and design our day. Faith, could you come up for a minute? So, Faith, okay. I know. I think you looked at me like, please, now what are you doing to me? Okay, so I wanted to end my talk with Faith because it kind of began with Faith, but you can come out, Robbie. You guys can all come out. So here's, am I throwing too many curves today? It's like really funny. Not to you.
Perfect no matter what.
Did you hear her? It's unfolding perfectly. So, she's going to sing a little bit of Today is the Day. I am one with this thing called, and then your job is to scream out whatever you are going to design this day as. So give it a moment. I am one with this thing called whatever you're going to use. And I want to hear that shake the rafters, but don't knock that thing down. Right? Just shake the rafters. So, and we're going to do it where you actually snap. So we just, no music, just snap, vocal, crackle. And then pop. Okay? So, are we ready? Here we go. I don't snap the way you want it. How do you want the snap?
Today is the day. That's our practice run. Today is the day. All right. So shall I sing more? Or am I just today is the day I'll be more of myself, love my skin, where I've been, and everyone else. No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, 'cause I know where I come from.
Oh, that was like, keep going.
From the start, the first one. Today is the day I will change my luck.
There you go.
I will find 3 pennies and they'll be heads up. I will walk like a queen in my tennies and jeans, 'cause I know where I come from.
Just get to I'm part of this thing. I'm looking
From the start. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part of this thing called life.
That's it, guys.
From the known to unseen, everything
Here it comes.
in between, I am part of this thing called life.
That was it. Do it again. You just end me with I am part of this.
Don't you want? Today is the day I will. And they do something.
Okay. Yeah, do it again. Today, yeah, do that. We can do that. Today is the day I will, and scream out whatever you're going to do today. Ready? But that you want to do today. Go ahead.
Today is the day I will.
Keep going.
I will.
Keep going. Keep going.
No more push, no more pull, simply flow as I go, 'cause I know where I come from. Keep going. From the stars and the sun, from the magical one, I am part
of this thing called love. Keep going.
I am one with this thing called
life.
I am one with this thing called big ending.
And so it is.
That was great. So,
Oh my God.
now you got it? So, the whole point to this is not to prove how musical you all are, but the whole point of this is to understand you're in the driver's seat. You get to design your life. You get to design today. Start with today. How are you going to design today? We have a membership meeting right after this. I hope you're all staying for it. It'll be very short, but be a part of how we run this center. Be a part of where we're going as a center. But how are you going to design your whole day? Where do you go after that? Who do you bring to everything? Who do you bring to it all? I'm going to suggest that you do everything saturated in gratitude now and from this moment forward, because you get to design your life any way you want to. The ball is in your court. Namaste.